Happy Saturday, you guys. So today I am back at potting up these propagations. Now, this isn't a repot video, but this is a video of me taking 3 of the plants that I have propagated during this propagation season, and I am potting them up. So I'm once again bringing families together. I'm taking the mother plant and its propagations and I'm putting it together, hopefully in a big pot. I'm a little nervous. I'm nervous. Let me tell you why I'm nervous. This is one of the pots that I will be potting my mother plant and its propagations in. And this is massive. You can see it's so big that it's holding, this is an 8-inch pot. It's holding an 8-inch pot easy. So I'm a little nervous, right? Because if you pot a plant, if the root system is too small, then you can overwater your plant, because overwatering is not about it's not about how much water you give it. It's the fact that the roots stay moist too long. But you guys know that, right? I'm just nervous. I really am. I'm nervous about doing that. Okay. I have 3 plants today. And I can tell you, they're all pothos. Go figure, right? However, I will add one more plant into this mix. I'm not actually potting up the plant, but I'm potting up the propagations into some of this soil so it can get started growing regular roots, okay? So let's get started. So before we get there though, let me introduce myself. My name is Yvette Boone. I'm a recovering software engineer and a lifelong creative hobbyist. And here on this channel, we create a safe space for Black women to incorporate creative hobbies into their wellness practice. My wellness practice most definitely includes plants, and being a plant parent, taking care of plants, has been very therapeutic for me during this chapter in my life. I have come to realize that I really love propagations. I really do. I have learned that I really love looking at the roots of my plants. I love this. Look at that. Seriously. Hopefully this is not like, hopefully you can see how beautiful these roots are. Every morning I get up and I look at these roots and I look at the new leaves unfurl, and it just warms my heart. I know that might seem a little cheesy, but it's a beautiful thing to get up and watch this thing grow. To know that I'm giving it what it needs and it is thriving. There are so many lessons to be learned with our plants. We're not going to get into that today, but I do want to at some point. Today, it's just about potting these things up. Now, I think I have a picture to show you what all the cuttings look like. They are massive. Like, this alone is for my neon. This alone. I do have a couple of little sad ones in water over here that I am going to just probably cut the sad leaf off and stick the wet stick in. These have taken forever to try to root, and at this point I'm over it. But look at this. This is beautiful, right? This is like a bouquet of happiness. So I'm going to pot these up today. I have, actually for my neon, I have 2, oh, don't fall. This is not the time. We have company. Don't do that. Oh, okay. I have 2 mother plants for the neon. This is one. This is Sad Sally. Sad Sally came full-ish. When I purchased her, she was a little on the edge. She was living life on the edge. She had been rolled hard and put out wet. And then I did the ultimate. I know you can, in theory, take a stem and lay it across the dirt, and it will root and push out new growth. Apparently, I must have laid it a little too far in the dirt and they rotted out. So all of these little pins are representations of places where I pushed stem into the dirt to get it to root. And they're also grave markers for those stems that died. So, yeah, this little moment of silence for the dead stems. Okay, so we're gonna combine this with this and these other four and the little sad cuttings. Anyway, I have, of course, my pots. I have my water, and it's juicy juice. And I have my dirt back here. So let's go ahead on and get started. Hopefully I have you in a good spot and you can pretty much see everything. I kind of want to give you a timeline of what has happened so far. So in this one, I think I'm going to pot her in an 8-inch. Okay, so let me tell you what's going on with these. I have another video of about 6 plants that I potted already, the mother plants along with their cuttings, and I will link that video below. Now this time I'm only doing 3, but pretty much the same thing that happened there is what I'm gonna do here. I have already repotted this mother plant into the new soil that I use. So I switched all of my plants this year. I have done so many repots, it is ridiculous. Literally just about every plant in my house has been repotted. In the midst of trying to get this to acclimate to the new dirt, I repotted it, put it back into its same pot to wait for these cuttings to root and get to a point where I was ready to put them together. This plant had a negative reaction somewhat to the repotting. I've already told you how I tried to root or kind of encourage root growth, or look at that hot mess, encourage root growth, and it just didn't work for me. Yeah, see, her root system is not fantastic. Okay, that's not too bad. I think once she gets settled in, you know, how she wants to grow, I noticed that even though I don't put them in based on where they're I know this is early. Even though I don't place them in a place where their leaves look really nice, eventually they work it out. Okay? They figure it out, and so I don't have to. Now I lost a couple of my little clips in here. I meant to go in and take them out, and now I done lost them. I done buried them. That's crazy. They are bright orange. How would you lose them? Apparently, I can show you better than I can tell you. Alright. I don't know where they ate it. I don't know where they are. I'm not going to worry about them. They will hopefully show up when I repot this years from now. I love it. She looks good. So the next one is going to be, I knew I was going to forget to do something. So the next one is going to be the marble. Okay, so I will find a picture of her. She took a tumble too. You can see some of the leaves on here are damaged. This came from me doing a bug spray on her, and she started declining rapidly. So I brought her in here and I set up a little light for her over here, and she started bouncing back. So she is doing really well, to the point where I was like, do I really even have to like disturb her? So she has already been repotted into this pot here. Now, this was one 4-inch, and that was the other. Those two were put in here because they were struggling. And now they're doing fine. I think they love the dirt. I think they love the light. And I'm a little nervous about repotting her. Now, with that being said, she had very little cuttings. Her cuttings were struggling. The reason I hadn't potted her up sooner was because I was hoping that this piece right here, this little sad piece right here, was going to bounce back. She was actually, I think, she had started rotting, and I was like, no, we are going to save this. I saved it, then put it in this dirt, and she just, I think the leaves have never bounced back. I'm not sure. I'm going to check this before I actually plunk this into this new pot, because if it's rotted, I'm going to just let it go. But yeah, she did not have a lot of cuttings, and these cuttings have taken a long time to kind of get their feet wet. And even with that, their roots are okay. They're not the best versions of the roots that I've seen. And as you see, she doesn't have a lot going on. So yeah. So there won't be a lot of addition to this pot. But the good thing is that she has already started bouncing back. She's got plenty of new growth in here. She's got something coming in there. Another week and she'll have even more going on with her. So I'm not worried about her. I'm not going to up pot her too much. So yeah, not too much up potting at all, actually. It's a little deeper and it's a little bit wider, but not much. It's gone. Okay, so I'm not mad. It is in a bigger pot. I do think she is going to do well. The coloring on these leaves, oh my goodness, it's so pretty. Like, I could sit and look at this plant for hours. So I'm excited about her spreading her wings and really getting into this pot, this new pot. I think she is going to do well. I'm glad I don't have to disturb her much anymore. I will, the first opportunity I get to take more cuttings, I will, because I want her to be more lush than this. But for now, I'm going to leave her be, and I'm going to enjoy like the beautiful markings on this plant. I'm excited for her. I want her to do well in here. I'm so worried that I buried her too deep. That is a big problem I have, is that I bury my plants way too deep. It's time for the big mama jamma. Okay. I am nervous, no cap. I am nervous. This is a big pot. And the funny thing is, I bought this pot for this plant that I'm about to plant in here. So my golden, not golden, mixed with my jade. So yes, it'll be a little flecks of gold in there, but I'm okay with that. So I purchased, I purchased this pot for this plant. And looking back, there was no way this plant at that time would have done well in this pot. So I'm very glad that I had enough sense not to pot that in here then. But even with all of that, what I have, this is still making me nervous. So I have put a piece of styrofoam in the bottom. So let me show you what the bottom actually looks like. It looks like that. And I have some styrofoam pieces at the bottom of this even because this X here is deep. And I didn't want the dirt to fall below that either. Or if it did, I didn't want roots to kind of get into that hollow space and not have, I don't know. I just figured it might be a good idea to put some, I might just take that out. But this actually kind of creates sort of like another bottom. Okay, so I put some holes in it, you know, so the water will run through. So I'm going to put this in the bottom. And that's going to take up some of the space. Now, this might mean that I might have to come and check on this pot or the roots next year around this time, right? Because this plant has grown like crazy. And I'm going to show you the roots on these. So, yeah, let's just show you right now. So, here is one of the cuttings. Like, come on. This is literally cuttings. This is a plant. Like, if I saw this in the store and it was in a pot, I would buy this, right? Look at the roots on that. But the roots on this is phenomenal. Like, it is crazy. And they're brown now because I don't know why, really. Because there's some good. There's definitely some good. But these are the cuttings. This is already a plant, right? So, so this is my 6-inch mother. And as you see, she's kind of bald on this side and mostly trailing here. So when I started cutting one of the other vines that was trailing. The reason I cut so much jade was to help the other propagations to hurry up and root faster. And then eventually, of course, I had planned on propagating her, but not to the extent that I did. But when I did, it just forced her to push out new growth everywhere. I think I have a picture of her before. She was already lush, but even now, she's just gotten more lush. And I have literally been cutting her probably, I would say, I know I probably took about I cut at least 10 times easy. Because every time I got a new set of cuttings, I would just take a little piece off. So every time she grew something, I was out, even with damage. So every time she grew something, I have to remember to finish my sentences. I have squirrel moments so much, and I'm so glad that you guys don't call me out on it. But I have so many squirrel moments. But even through damage, because I rolled the chair over her. I know, right? Ooh, sorry. But look, she just kept it moving. She kept on growing. So I might cut that there and root some more, but maybe not. I don't know. The stem on that is ridiculous. Okay? But yeah, so I have the 6-inch mother here. I have 4 of these 4-inch pots. Now these are actually jades. So these are not goldens. There are no gold in here. And the yellow you see on here is just the plant yellowing. I believe that the mother plant that this came from must have been super big because the petioles are really long. Like these are actually some of the short ones. I took some of the long petioles and I propagated them because I figured if I lost the leaf, I wouldn't be mad, because these petioles are ridiculously long. Like they're crazy. Now they're going to actually work in my favor right now because I'm going to need some long petioles to get this plant to come from out of this pot and you actually see some leaves, because if all of them were really short, then this wouldn't be helpful. And this pot is going to go into a huge macrame wall hanger that I have in my bedroom. So I need it to be long enough to actually come out and trail and do what they're gonna do. So this was probably the saddest 4-inch jade that I had. It was really, this looks good, to be honest with you. I think this plant had a total of like 3 or 4 leaves on it after I finished cutting it, and it looked pretty sad. But look how thick those stems are. Those stems are ridiculous. So she is going to do fine. The root systems on these look pretty good. They're not terrible at all. I don't get as much light in my bedroom as I do in here. They don't grow as fast in there as they would in here. So had I left these plants in here the entire time, their root system, and they would have probably pushed out way more new growth. But there's still some. There's a little new growth here, a little down here at the bottom. Same here. There's some here. And they've had new leaves. I can tell, even the little smaller ones, that they've had some new leaves come in here. And I haven't had any like issues, no pests or anything like that. So their hindered growth is just by the fact that they weren't getting as much light. I will say, I think the cuttings grew faster than the mother plants in this scenario. But these have all been repotted already, and this 6-inch has already been repotted. So we are going to get into it, and I forgot to put the tag on this. We're gonna get into it, and we are going to pot this up now. I'm still nervous, you guys. I'm still nervous. This is pretty big. Even when I set this in here, it's not so much the width as it is the depth. The depth of this pot is ridiculous. This is almost like a pot big enough to put like a huge monstera in. But I think it'll be fine. So it's actually only about an inch, about that much dirt from the foam to the top of the dirt. And then this actually is it sitting on top of the dirt. And you can see that it's not that much. So I don't really think it's going to be that big of an issue. Turn it loose. She got roots growing out the bottom. Ah. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Can I stand back far enough? Is there enough room to get all of her lusciousness? Oh my goodness. Let me put it in the chair. Let me look at her. Oh. Girl. You did that. Girl, you look good. You look good. You look blessed. Okay. Oh my God, I love it. Ooh, she's so pretty. Can you believe that? Thing is beautiful. She is beautiful. Now, who child, if this thing gets spider mites or something, I am going to be devastated. One more thing. So, in the last video, I told you I cut my Syndapsis, the new one that I just got. So let me show you the mother plant. I don't know why I didn't think about it. Okay, you saw, whoops, sorry. You saw how long she was. She had a lot of long tendrils. Not a fan of that look, so I cut it, right? And look at all of the new growth. I want to say, did I put a 7-2? So I cut this 32-ish days ago, 33.
1, 2, oh, I got one, then there's one down here, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5 growth points on this Scindapsus Splash. This thing, she is doing it, right? Like all of the Scindapsus that I have right now are growing so nicely. I have not repotted this. I did, however, cut it. So these are all the cuttings, mostly one node cuttings. Look at the roots. Is that not the best? I mean, seriously, I'm going to be struggling trying to find something to add. Oh, wow. Okay, these are growing together. Don't. Why are you doing that? Because they can. Look at that. Yeah. Okay. So these are, okay. All right. Y'all broke up, huh? Okay. Don't be mad. Look at that. Beautiful roots. Look at that. And the only reason I didn't pot these up earlier was because I was waiting for a couple of these to actually, wow, this is a weird looking cutting. I'm not sure how I feel about that. This was the leaf I tore when I was doing the unboxing. Sorry. But you're getting a new, I'm sorry. Oh, she's got a growth. Is that a growth or a root? No, it might be a root. Either way, she is loving life. This is weird though. I don't know if I like this. I don't know how I feel about this. So how many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cuttings from this plant. We're about to get a storm. Something bad just happened. Okay. Something bad just happened. And I'm going to pot these up now, and I'm going to take a smidgen of a break and go see what either fell on my house or off my house. Don't have to look like this. I don't even understand. What's your goal? Like, what are you trying to do? Just for a couple of days, I'll keep those in there. Let me show you. I'm probably going to pot these up today off camera, only because, this is sort of kind of not fun, I guess. But I want to show you where they've come so far. Like these are doing really good. Because I had literally given up on these things, but they are coming through. So I am going to pluck out what I can. I see roots all the way at the bottom. Oh my God. I did not know that. Oh, I'm excited. I'm amped now. I'm going to pot these up, and I'm going to pot these strategically, meaning that what I did with these was I just took the one nodes and I just threw them on top of the sphagnum moss, sprayed them down, and put them in the bag and set them up under some light. But I'm going to literally put these in the soil in such a way that some of the stem sticks out so it won't rot, and I'm going to let them finish their growing, maturing, in this soil, and I'm gonna still keep it in the propagation box, but I won't have to unpot it or disturb it again. Some of these in here are not rooted yet. Like I'm pretty sure, like here, there are ones that are not rooted yet. I might just stick them in the dirt and let them see if they're gonna do what they're gonna do. But waiting for this to root and then having to take and pull this off of the sphagnum moss this is not my idea of fun. So I am going to pot these up. This is going to be really tedious, but I'm probably going to do it off camera because yeah, it might go faster that way. But I did just want to kind of show you the ones that were struggling from before. This is the neon. It's not a lot of neon cuttings in here. There are probably more in the other pot. There might even be some buried in the sphagnum moss. So I'm going to pull these out, put them in take the sphagnum moss out and replace it with dirt, and then strategically put those in so that they can grow with their roots in the soil. And oh, you know, I have some exotica. Yeah, I have some exotica that have been taking their dear sweet time to root, but I have some roots. Oh, don't break it. That would be tragic. Can you see that little bit of root on there? See? Sticking out there. Oh! You gotta be kidding me. My power just went out. I don't even know if you can see me. Okay, so if you can't see me, I'm gonna go ahead on and end this video right now because it's dark and I think I probably should. Thank you guys for hanging in with me while I potted up the next pots or the next plants of the 13 that I propagated this year. So as you know, I had 13 plants that I planned to bring to Lush. Like my plan was to get them as lush as possible. And I think you saw today, you saw today, it's no way possible you could see that my golden pothos, my golden, not golden, is extra lush, right? Like she is phenomenal. She is mall worthy, okay? Okay. Thank you for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give this video a like. If you're liking this content, you would love our community. We talk all things plants. We are super friendly to each other. We encourage each other. This community is awesome. Please join the community by subscribing to my channel. Hit that notification bell so you know when I put the next video out. So the next videos that I want to put out is I definitely need to finish up this series. I have about 4 more plants that need to go with the mother plant, but they need to finish rooting, as you can see. So I'm gonna give this a little bit more time to root. I'm not gonna rush it, but I do have some other things that I want to show you in the meantime. One of them is the pots that I made for my plants. So I dibble in pottery, and I have I have given myself the excuse, which I didn't need, to take a pottery class so that I can make pots for my plants. And I will say, some things started off as pots and they ended up as cups. okay, I'm gonna end it because I can stay here with you guys all day long, but I'm gonna give you a chance. I'm gonna share you with the rest of the world if I gotta. So if no one else has said it to you today, have a great day. Bye. I got dirt. I have dirt under my fingernails. I don't like it. I played in the dirt today.